it's very easy for the United States to weaponize the dollar and weaponize SWIFT. Yeah, okay, but the more you push countries away, the more reason you're giving them to just cut you out and make their own system. And the United States has sanctioned so many people now, and you should include the EU in that, right? It's the US and the EU. They've sanctioned so many countries now that they have become a minority. You understand what I'm saying? The sanctioned countries have more, their populations are bigger, their economies are on track to become bigger. So now it's like they've shot themselves in the foot, and they've isolated themselves in the end. That's the final result. I don't need to tell you about the drastic effect this has when you cut, when you target a country's oil sector, or like in Iran's case, the banking sector. They thought with Russia it's going to be the same. But because Russia is next to Europe, it has ties with Europe, business ties, literal ties with the Nord Stream pipelines. A lot of blowback happened, a lot, and it's still happening. They thought it's going to be a joke and it's going to be an easy ride, and it's proving to be the opposite. They're coming up, these countries that have been sanctioned, coming up with very creative ways, not just to bypass the sanctions, but to make their own system. So this is why I wanted to give you this piece of news. And one more thing, Turkey, in Turkey, you have a lot of Russian tourists. They love going there. So, in Turkey, which is in NATO and wants to be in the EU, and is kind of walking this tightrope, between not pissing off the Russians and not pissing off the Americans. Turkey did not sanction Russia. Turkey expanded, basically made it easier for people with Russian Mir credit cards to pay for their stay or whatever their expenses are in Turkey. So they basically expanded the payment system to accommodate Russians. So even though Turkey is not going to have the same positions as Iran or some of the other sanctioned countries, you can still see how most of the world is trying to maintain ties with the Russians and even kind of help them circumvent the sanctions, right? Because again, if you're Russian, you have these Visa and MasterCard, they're useless for you if you go to Turkey or go anywhere else. The Mir you can use, and the Turks are like, okay, well, we'll expand it for you, which gives it more prestige and then makes more people want to adopt that, right? And the Chinese, they did. So I think it's very important to not overlook this story and think of the impact that it will have later.